Hello, NDC Music families. My name is Joel Windsor. I'm the music director at Notre Dame Collegiate. This video is one of a series of videos talking about how your students are going to be using the internet for their music studies. First video is about charms and how you can actually get yourself set up so that we can do better communication between yourself and myself, both by text as well as by email, and how you can also use it to help keep track of your students' musical equipment and information. Not only that, but your students are going to be using charms for doing recorded assessments as well as recording their practice minutes and such. So all of that is really important information for you to follow along, which is why I produced this video. You'll also see another video about breezing through, and then later on another video about how all of that's going to appear in your students' PowerSchool, because PowerSchool gradebook for music is quite a bit different than every other course. So hang on, and here we go. For any of the information you need to know about the music department at Notre Dame Collegiate, the website you want to visit is music.ndcfinearts.ca. This website includes a number of resources, including the Musicer blog, which includes all of the different emails that have ever been sent home. Copies of those emails exist in the blog. And, most importantly for this video, all your forms and resources, for which you can find a direct link to charms, or if you want a few more details about the forms and resources, including a reminder of what the passwords are, you can just click right on Forms and Resources, and it'll give you all the details you need. So inside Charms, you can also find the link for the Charms Blue apps, which are available for Android or iDevices. In the meantime, we're just going to go directly to the Charms Office Assistant, the direct link for which is charmsoffice.com. Once you're here, you're going to want to log in. You are a parent or a student or a member, so you'll use that option, and your school code is NDC, capital M for music, all one word. And then it'll ask you for your student's password. This is the password they use to log on to the Christ Redeemer School Division's computers, their Google Drive, their email for the school division. You may need to ask those students for that password. But once you have that password, you can easily log in. You and your students have access to the exact same information. And in here, you'll see a number of different links to the different possibilities inside Charms, including any handouts or files that have been distributed, the website, any forms for field trips, any volunteer opportunities, and then of course the calendar, which I'll demonstrate first. And inside the calendar, right now there's not much in October, so I'm going to switch over to November, where you're going to see Mr. Windsor's extra band help SDL days, as well as parent-student-teacher interviews. And then if you were to fast forward yourself to December, you'll see inside our calendar the Christmas Fine Arts Showcase concert, which is on December 5th. You'll also see some other extra band help sessions available too. Now that's just the calendar aspect. Elsewhere in Charms, you're also going to be able to see your opportunity to update your information. And that's what I'm going to ask you to do first. Everybody should do this. Please go to Update Your Info. What you're going to do is double check to make sure that the information for your student is indeed accurate. Email addresses, phone numbers. If they have a cell phone, make sure that you also include their cell carrier, so that way when I send out text message reminders, it goes directly to their cell phone. You can also set yourself up on here. Most students will already have the adults added, and so you're just going to need to double check the information, but just in case, if you need to duplicate information, you can use that copy dotted fields. But if you need to add a new adult, this is how it would work. Now, of course, this is not exact, but it'll work for demonstration purposes. And there we go. Also include my email in here as the adult. You'll notice that there are a few things that I've simply left alone.
I'm going to pretend that this is the case. Of course it's not true, but it'll work. And not everything needs to be filled in, only the required fields will be forced upon you. And once you're ready, you can hit the update button and it saves all that information. Now that's the easy part. That's just updating your students and your own personal information. Back at the home of Charms again, you can also change passwords if you feel the need to. And you can also go to the recording studio, which is the part that I'm going to demonstrate right now. In the recording studio, this is where your students will submit their recorded playing assessments. Your browser should always ask you to enable your microphones. Go ahead and do that, please. Then when it's time to submit an assignment, of course, identify which assignment you're going to do first. So you click on the assignments. For my grade 8 through 12 students, you should have an assignment that is a List A, List B, or List C piece. For grade 7 students, you may have all sorts of other things, including the hexachords or what have you. You choose the assignments you're going to do. For those of you who have an accompaniment to work with, your accompaniment should be available as well. So you load the accompaniment. And I'm going to put the microphone down and pick up my clarinet so I can demonstrate how this works, but I'm just going to tell you first. A red dot to start the recording. And then, of course, it'll give you an opportunity to stop afterwards. Oh, and I already made a mistake. So right there, you'll have an example of a mistake made. What you can't hear is inside my headphones, I can actually hear that accompaniment playing. I made a mistake on this time around, so I've got to take one. Now I'm going to try again. I can get quite a few takes in here, and some of these I can just simply get rid of. That one was useless to me, so I'm going to try again. This time I'm going to get it right. And it'll probably take a couple moments for it to save it. You have to make sure that you're patient for it. And if you don't like that take, don't worry. You can always rewind it and try all over again. Once you have a take that you prefer, you can choose that take by saying Save Take 2. It's saving the file. And you do need to be a little bit patient while it's waiting. It is indeed processing a good chunk of information for you. And with that, you have now submitted your assignment. Now you can also use a different tool such as Audacity to record yourself, at which point all you need to use is the upload existing MP3 file. You can also set the metronome to demonstrate for you as well, your different speeds. And that way it becomes a practice tool for you. Once you're done with the recording assignments, you'll be able to see them listed at the bottom. Going back to the Home of Charms office, you'll also be able to see one of the other tools I'm asking students to use, which is the practice logs. The practice logs are nice and simple, really easy to input information, and there are prizes for practice logs that are kept up to date. One of the ways to keep your practice logs up to date is to ensure that you keep on top of your students' work. When it comes to keeping practice logs up to date, students actually have a timeline of practice that they have assigned themselves. You can ask them about their planning and preparation assignments for their various playing tests, and those planning assignments will tell them when they're supposed to practice what, in what order, so that they can make sure that their practice is effective. As they practice and enter their times into the practice log here in Charms, which they can also do on the Charms Blue app, it'll keep track of it here, and I'll be able to see that here at Notre Dame Collegiate. People who do great practice get great rewards, not just the music, of course, but also a couple other things here, little incentives that Mr. Windsor here has at the school. That is pretty much the entirety of everything that exists at Charms. You will likely receive emails and text messages from Mr. Windsor so long as you keep your information up to date. So again, one more time, make sure that you get your updated information in. And just one more time, don't forget to get that updated information in so that contact can be made.
Thank you for joining me for this video. Make sure you check out the other 2 videos in this series to make sure that you have all your understandings in place. And if you do have any questions, feel free to check out the website at music.ndcfinearts.ca, or of course you can send me an email at jwindsor@redeemer.ab.ca. Thank you and have a wonderful day.